Hi there, it's Donovan, and welcome back to another edition of One Last Game, where one last doesn't actually mean one. And after that recent Nintendo Direct debacle, I feel like it's time to talk about the entire Amiibo fiasco that's been going on. Because firstly, $40 for Super Mario Galaxy, and $40 for Super Mario Galaxy Amiibo. Who in their right mind is making these prices? I can get one giant Amiibo figurine for $40, or I can get two Silk Songs. Consumer, what are you gonna pick? Amiibos have always been in a weird spot for Nintendo. I mean, they're always seen as these little figurines that you can interact with in your games. These were the emergence of Toys to Life. But Amiibos has definitely outlived the Toys to Life craze and has kind of transcended into its own category. A very vital and essential category to Nintendo's business strategy, as we definitely see today with those outrageous prices. Like, should I pay off the mortgage or do I buy another Mio figurine? Don't ask what that mason jar was for. But if we go all the way back to when Amiibo began, we get to see, why the price difference? What happened to these things that would skyrocket to exorbitant prices, not just in retail, but definitely on the secondhand market. Amiibos first were introduced with Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, and they were basically, this standard Toys to Life craze where you can have figure players play in your Smash Bros. Game, and you can just train them up to be the very, very best. The problem with some of those Amiibos were, one, the stocks were not there. they were non-existent. And two, the quality kind of waned a little bit, depending on the kind of Amiibo figure you're buying and your luck of the draw. I mean, sometimes $15 for a Nintendo figurine, it wasn't too bad of a deal, But the fact that they were making so many Amiibos of not just their most, prized series, but some of their, lesser known series, even the most randomest things, like even indies. Shovel Knight back here has an Amiibo. That's crazy. And yes, again, quality did vary. Overall, they were a net positive for the Nintendo ecosystem, and they were a welcome addition to many collectors' homes. How they were put into games was a bit of a mystery sometimes. Most of the time it was like a stupid costume reward or maybe some in-game currency, and that's kind of it. Super Smash Bros. Kind of did the most with Amiibo, giving it its own life, and then you get to train your Amiibo. It's like it's a real person. My parasocial relationship is not out of control, guys. So, and then it just feels a little bit more real when it comes to the Super Smash Bros. Case, because it's kind of your baby. I am proud of Copycat back there. He is my pride and joy. But then other Amiibos, like say the Splatoon Amiibos, you can save your gear to a specific Amiibo. It's just you pay $15 to save your gear to a specific preset. Well, yippee, Nintendo. This Noah Amiibo from Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I've never actually used this Amiibo at all on my Nintendo Switch. He is purely here because Xenoblade 3 is one of my favorite games of all time, and I would like to own the Amiibo. That's literally why I have him. But then you get more zany Amiibo, like the Yarn Yoshis, which did have its own price increase to the beautiful big ol' $40. We don't talk about the secondhand market, but $40 was probably the steepest an Amiibo has gotten up to that point. And if you wanted to get to the cheapest Amiibo you can get Amiibo cards for Animal Crossing that they still do sell to this day, and I do not get the appeal of these. But then there was at one point, where Amiibo kind of was starting to die out. Many people were questioning, are Amiibo going to even stick around to the next generation after the Nintendo Switch? Because Amiibo, was a little bit underutilized in the Nintendo Switch era. Obviously, they were heavily utilized with the Nintendo 3DS and Wii U. I mean, that was kind of one of their selling points for those systems, especially the Wii U. I mean, like, they really wanted you to buy one. They even gave some Wii U bundles with the Super Mario Bros. 30th anniversary Amiibo. This is really cool. Again, super high quality for, you know, basically quote unquote a free gift for a bundle. And also, this is also the 30th anniversary celebration, which was 10 years ago. God, I feel old now. I feel old saying that I'm 19. But once we entered the Nintendo Switch era, many games started foregoing Amiibo or really using very lazy opportunities to use Amiibo. I mean, sometimes they would even, you know, lock specific things in a game to an Amiibo. It was something that pissed off many. For example, the Zelda Skyloft Amiibo for Skyward Sword locked, you know, fast travel with, you know, an Amiibo. That's kind of crazy. It should have been in the game. But, you know, I bought this not for that in-game functionality, but purely because this Amiibo looks awesome. But then there's other Amiibos like the Wolf Link Amiibo for Twilight Princess HD that locks like a really cool, you know, extra dungeon. That's a little bit scummy, you know, which begs the question, you know, what should Amiibos even be made for? Should they lock really vital pieces of content behind, you know, this $20 to $40 paywall now? Or should they just be cool figurines that give you some cool in-game items, but then you gotta find a balance? Are the in-game items, you know, pretty good, or are they really lackluster? Like, basically makes these Amiibos completely worthless, or are they really good in-game items? Do the side modes, are they like vital side modes, or are they just, you know, stupid little freebies? I know for Samus Returns, they locked story concept art behind the Amiibos. I feel like that should be in the game, but then the argument could be made, you know, that's not very necessary, and it just adds more value to the Amiibos, which is how we get to Amiibos today, which is what we call waste of college tuition. Like, I could use this money to buy more supplies for my architecture and, you know, mitigate the costs of my tuition that I just got from my JOB, or I can get a ginormous Rosalina Amiibo. So these Amiibos are kind of getting a little bit out of control. But with those prices increasing comes an increase in quality. Today, I rarely see those quality issues being addressed because, you know, the quality is pretty streamlined. Every single Amiibo that I've gotten in the past 3 years have looked excellent, and they keep on improving, especially with the brand new Amiibo releasing. They are huge and they are super high quality. The amount of details put into these figurines are crazy. And then you get the Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Amiibos, just ludicrous in price again, but they look so good. The regular Samus Amiibo looks super hyper detailed, and not to mention the Viola bike looks absolutely phenomenal, and plus it's huge, and plus there's just so much attention to detail and quality. That jump in price is a little bit justified. Figurines in general, obviously because of a funny, silly little orange man. But even if we ignore those real-world obstacles, the more high quality they are, the more expensive they get. And, you know, honestly, $40 is a little bit on the cheaper end for these high-quality figurines. I mean, I've been eyeing a Byleth figurine for no other reason, but, you know, other than I really love Fire Emblem Three Houses. That figurine is a little bit pricey, definitely more pricey than Amiibo, but it looks very high quality. It's an articulate action figure, which, you know, adds even more to the price. Hi there, it's DonovanDud here. Editor Don is busy making fun of the amount of times Donovan said "you know" in this video. I'm here to talk about his awesome Metroid Dread Samus figurine. Is a highly articulate action figure that is super accurate to the game. It is one of the best figures he's ever owned, and it costs like $80, so like double a high quality Amiibo, plus all the accessories, and it's an actual movable action figure. It kind of puts things into perspective with these different prices. I received for my birthday a very super high quality Dark Knight Rises Batman action figure. It looks freakishly realistic to Christian Bale. It is one of the best action figurines I have ever seen, and I am so proud to own it. You can call me a man-child, but I will sleep with that thing. Not just, I mean, anyone would sleep with Christian Bale, but, but you know, it is so high quality. It's insane. It retails for $70 in all regions except for the United States, because due to tariffs, I had to pay $140. Double the price, but it's super worth it. But you know, $70 for a really high quality action figure, you know, it's making the Amiibos look a little bit cheap now. And that just begs the question, are these Amiibos toys or are they high quality figurines? What does Nintendo see them as? And honestly, I think Nintendo's starting to see them as high quality figurines they just sell in their stores now. And we don't even know the functionality of the Amiibo for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. For the Donkey Kong Bonanza Amiibo, again, super high quality. Love how this looks, and it turns out it looks great. Donkey Kong looks a little bit stupid, but the in-game functionality for this Amiibo is simply just a costume, and then you can get some Kong letters that act as gold, or you can throw them as explosives. That's really it. And other than that, I own this because it looks goddamn awesome. I'd purely see them as high quality figurines. I think that's what Nintendo sees them as well. And when you look at Amiibos like that, the high quality does kind of match up with the prices they're offering. Although, you know what's absolutely insane? The Kirby Air Riders Amiibo. Yes, they offer really cool functionality. Welcome back, Skylander Swap Force, where you can swap riders and machines for the Amiibos. It's a really cool functionality. They look super high quality. Why the fuck is it $50? It is more expensive than like a Nintendo 3DS game. But functionality and the high quality prints of these figurines are top notch. They are, two of them cost more than the actual Kirby Air Riders game. I will not be buying these Amiibo. You even get extensions of Amiibo, like the Super Nintendo World Power-Up Bands. $40. They do act as Amiibo, but $40. These things, their prices are getting absurd, but you know, even the Power-Up Band has functionality outside of just being an Amiibo. You know what scratches my head though? The third-party Amiibos, especially Street Fighter 6 Amiibos. Those are so goddamn expensive. That is something I wouldn't shower in coconut cream pie. Amiibos may have lost their in-game functionality purpose, but what they gained was high quality prints. And if you want the best of both worlds, a high quality print and really great in-game functionality, well, you're looking at the Kirby Air Riders Amiibo. And honestly, you know, I think probably most lobotomites will go for those Amiibos, but your average grandma will probably be saving that money for groceries. I collect Amiibos because they look great. Some of my favorites are right here. The Samus Returns Amiibo looks so great. I think the Vario suit has never looked any better than in Samus Returns. I own the Steve and Alex Amiibos, and I've never used them in a game. I only bought them because Steve and Alex were my most wanted characters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and it's just a dream come true to even have Amiibos of Minecraft characters. So let me know in the comments what you think Amiibos are to you. Are they still those little toys to life figurines that should be at a smaller, cheaper price, or are they really high quality figurines that do deserve a little bit of a price increase? Or do you think they should be the best of both worlds? And if that's the case, the Kirby Air Riders Amiibo should probably be in your hands by now. But I think it's time to head on over to the comment corner. Goodnight Song, in response to my video about video game cutscenes, responds with, "Cutscenes, to me, set the stage, act as a type of reward, or resolve story issues that wouldn't be possible to be explained otherwise." And that, I completely agree. Again, I really love cutscenes in video games. When it comes to, do these cutscenes push forward the gaming medium? Is it considered a crutch, or, you know, one of the high points of a video game? It's just food for thought. You know, it just makes me think about, you know, the importance of these cutscenes. You know, is it better to convey story elements via the gameplay, or the cutscenes. And he does bring up a good point, how yes, you do shoot you know, Abby's father in The Last of Us Part 1. Yes, you do have all those actions in your hands, but then in the end you don't get to choose whether Joel lied to Ellie or not. It's just, you know, really, really great to get different perspectives on this topic. I just feel like it's a very nuanced topic, and I'm very grateful that you've provided your 2 cents, and you know, it's made my, you know, little pea brain with a fly in it, you know, have its neurons fire a little bit. So thank you. And I don't know what you're talking about ugly main characters. I don't know where the fuck that came from, but if you're talking about that main character from the new Fable game, you know what, maybe you do have a point. That's it for me today, but you know there's always one last game. Now I gotta get back to where's my mason jar?